Hi everyone, SilBee here. You're watching ColFam's Mega March, so I hope you're ready for another trip down the memory circuits. Nostalgia. It's a very powerful thing. As long as humans are around, we will always look back on our pasts and bring out warm feelings of cherished times. While I love indulging in that feeling when times are tough, I gotta admit, it gets harder to remember the details. I do worry that someday, inevitably, I'll only be left with that vague feeling. The memories themselves will only get blurrier, or get twisted and combined with others. As someone who grew up with the internet through the 2000s and onward, I have a bunch of little Mega Man related tidbits here and there that I want to mark down as I remember them now. And what better way than to share them with you all? Leave some comments below if you have any similar memories, if something was a little bit different for you, or if you were in any of the same spots I was. You can't talk about 2000s internet game fandom without talking about Newgrounds, or even Flash as a whole. Flash's existence was pretty odd, because what was supposed to be a way to make flashier web pages ended up becoming known as a huge creative tool for games and animation instead. Newgrounds was a major hub for video game fan content, and they knew it, right down to having individual pages for a series fan works. I admittedly wasn't super knowledgeable about Mega Man at the time, but the series would find itself popping up in crossovers with other things I was a fan of. The main one that I still remember, and funnily enough is also the source of the True Guardian meme here on the ColFam channel, is Final Fantasy Sonic X. And yes, the X is for Mega Man X. This was a crossover story by Black Devil X that tried to play like a classic Final Fantasy game with epic sprite fights, but was in practice more of an interactive movie. Quite edgy to look back on, but was exactly the kind of fan service anime battle stuff I wanted back then. Newgrounds.com has done a great job keeping all their stuff available for viewing, so you can even check it out yourself right now for a bit of a time capsule. The content therein, however, I leave to you to make a judgment on. Another mainstay of my internet life during the Wii and DS era was Nintendo Life. This site's still around too. I originally found it looking for a complete list of Wii Shop Channel games, considering navigating that store was such a slog on dial-up. They had forums there, and the coolest thing was that you'd find plenty of regulars you'd see everywhere. It felt like you got to know something of a family, so to speak. And once they added a live chat room, everyone who joined regularly got to know each other that much more. Users there would then point me to the Backloggery, sort of a social media site for tracking your progress in your game collection and chatting with others. Shout out to webmaster Drumble for creating this super special homey place, one that was very formative in how I approach internet friendships. I'm really in my element when I can have simpler, one-on-one or small group conversations with folks. Makes it much easier to be yourself. The Backloggery itself is still online too, actually, and just recently underwent a total modern overhaul. Highly recommended for going back to quieter, safer internet times. Long story short, Mega Man was going through a bit of a revival while I was on these sites. Mega Man 9, 10, Universe, and Legends 3 were all on people's sites and frequently discussed. I would talk to folks about their hype for these games on there, and inside jokes would start to form too. I remember one particular guy who I'd always joke about the Cryon Conquest with, or as we called it, the original game that never ripped off anything at all. Backloggery in particular has always been a place I've wanted to go back to someday. I don't know what it is, but the idea of possibly reconnecting with some of these people I knew has been in the back of my mind. Maybe soon, yeah? Speaking of Legends 3, that was definitely the event I remember the most. I was still sort of an outsider to Mega Man, but had some nice memories of Mega Man 64 in my back pocket, so of course I wanted to see the next big chapter there. This was also in that forgotten period of the Nintendo 3DS, doing pretty poorly on launch, so it was definitely a game even the greater Nintendo fandom was looking to with high hopes. When the project got cancelled, confirming the prototype edition would be going along with it, it was a unique frustration that I don't think I've experienced since. I can see why it's such a prickly topic for fans to this day, especially with how special the fan-suggested development was. One last quick note for fun before I close this out, but if you want some more classic internet fandom for Mega Man, the Mega Man homepage is one that's still up and I have a lot of nostalgia for. I think of it as sort of a throwback to magazines and game coverage of the past, but a more personal and independently flavored one for sure. Tips, synopses, musings, cheats, a database of characters and items, you name it. This one was created by webmaster Miranda Paw, aka the Mega Master. It's at mmhp.net if you're interested. Nostalgia is a heavy thing and can be pretty difficult to juggle. I don't think you should ever get so caught up in it that you lose sight of the future, but if you have safe spaces to go back to when needed, I actually urge you to do so. These experiences have helped make you who you are, and do what you can to keep the memories alive. Who knows? That could even help preserve those spaces for others, too. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoyed. Check out the other Mega March vids, and support this channel through all the usual YouTube ways. You can find me helping out the ColFam channel and Discord server from time to time, and maybe someday I'll have stuff to plug of my own. Till then, always happy to chat with fans about their passions wherever and whenever. See ya.